Good afternoon, class. Um, so I'm gonna do like a short PowerPoint, like a little lesson about the behaviors in sport. I'm gonna start it now, and I want y'all to watch it tonight, before class tomorrow. And we'll be going over this for the rest of the week. But this is just a short one that I have. And the standard that we're going over for physical education is to explain the differences between legal and illegal behaviors in sport. Now, while we're going over this, I want you to be sure to take notes because we will have a quiz tomorrow on this. It'll be just what's on this PowerPoint. It's only going to be maybe like 5 to 7 questions or so. So it's going to be real short, nothing too hard. So be sure to take your notes and let's continue on. So I wanted to start off talking about the Alabama High School Athletic Association. So the AHSAA covers the whole state of Alabama. They provide rules, guidelines, like regulations for all high school athletics in the state of Alabama. Their main goal is to expand and strengthen recognition programs for student athletes, coaches, administrators, officials, and community partners. Also, they want to enhance the health and safety of all student athletes and participants. Now, I have this little tidbit right here at the bottom of just about a short little history of them. So, the AHSAA was founded in 1921. They eventually merged with the Alabama Interscholastic Athletic Association in 1968 to form just a single high school athletic association for the state of Alabama. So now there's only one, so there wasn't multiple ones, so they just joined them. So let's talk a little bit about the AHSAA rules. Now, the first thing I have up here is about unsportsmanlike conduct, which will be the main topic today that we'll talk about. Right here, I just have that unsportsmanlike conduct may receive consequences at the school's expense, according to the AHSAA. Now, in a couple slides or so, there's going to be more information about the types of punishments and stuff that go along with unsportsmanlike conduct, but we'll get there. So let's talk a little bit about eligibility. So, to be eligible to participate in high school athletics, you can't already be graduated. I mean, that's a gimme. Like, you can't already have your diploma and still participate in high school sports. You also have to be enrolled within the first 20 days of the semester as a regular student for the school that you wish to participate. Now, if you're homeschooled, you are still allowed to participate as long as you're enrolled through the public school in the same time frame as above, the 20 days before the semester. And it has to be in the same public school that is in the area that your parents live in. So, even if you're homeschooled, you'll still be able to participate in this. So, as for age restrictions, you have to be, or if you turn 19 before August 1st prior to the school year, you will be ineligible. However, if you turn 19 on or after August 1st, you can be eligible for the remainder of the school year. So, participation limitations. A student is only eligible for 8 consecutive semesters after entering the 9th grade. So, you can play in high school athletics from 9th through 12th grade. But if you fail a grade or get put back somehow, you will only be able to play for the 8 consecutive semesters. You won't be able to play like for an extra year or anything like that. A little more about eligibility. Physical exam. So in order to be eligible, students have to have a physical on file at the school by your doctor saying that you have passed the exam. Suspensions. If a student is suspended from school or whose character discredits their school, will be ineligible. So about the character, if they are just like bad character, like they don't, they're always have a bad attitude or they're disrespectful or anything like that, they won't put up with that. Now here's a little checklist that you need to be eligible to play. So documents that have to be on file at your school for participation in high school athletics. You'll need your birth certificate, your pre-participation physical, your concussion history form, and a student release form. Now the AHSAA has several rules. They have a big conduct book. So we're only talking about a few of them, not all of them. Now here's where we talk about unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, what is it? Well, unsportsmanlike conduct is considered any foul or offense that may violate many sports accepted rules of sportsmanship and participant conduct. As talked about before, according to the AHSAA, you will receive consequence at your school's expense. And right here we talk about how they could demand that your school pay a fine for you. You could get ejected or be placed in suspension of games. Now, when you get ejected, so as an athlete, if you get ejected, the first offense is a $300 fine that your school has to pay for you, or you can take this test that is through the AHSAA, and if you take the test and pass it, your school will have to pay only $100 instead of $300. But if you keep getting ejected more and more, and this part also goes for coaches too, the fine will go up in price. So I think the first one is $300, then it goes up to $500, and etc. So now let's move on to the National Collegiate Athletic Association. So the NCAA covers the whole United States. This applies to every college. Their main purpose is to improve intercollegiate athletic programs for student athletes and to promote and develop educational leadership, physical fitness, athletic excellence, etc. So let's talk a little bit about the ethical conduct as it states in the conduct book for the NCAA. So all student athletes, coaches, etc. under the NCAA must act with honesty and sportsmanship. There is a strict banned use of drugs policy. If it is found out that someone's using, they are subject to punishment. Misconduct has several punishments, which include disqualification, reprimand, public or private, and banishments. So you could be disqualified from playing, or banished from tournaments, etc., and banished from the sport. So right here I have a little t-shirt about the illegal behaviors and legal behaviors. Now, for illegal, there's a lot you could say that is illegal on the field of sport, like on any sport. So I listed a few of them right here. I mean, there's definitely more that could go under here, but cussing on the field, that's a big one. Arguing with referees or officials, they do not like that, and you can get ejected for doing that, especially if you get up in their face or anything like that and yell. Yeah. Drugs, that's a big one. You will have severe punishment for that. Misconduct, which like fighting or anything like that, yelling, cussing, that goes under misconduct as well. Aggression towards anyone, so that could be aggression, threatening to fight anybody on the other team, your team, fans, etc. Gambling, like betting on games, cheating, and a big one, which is what it's called, gamesmanship. Now, gamesmanship is about a person who will do anything that it takes to win. They don't care what it is. That involves the illegal substance abuse. They will, like steroids or anything like that could promote them and help them win, so to say. Tampering with equipment, like whether it be your teams or the other teams. Now, I have heard tampering with, like using illegal things to enhance your ability to play. Like in Major League Baseball, some pitchers will put stuff on their hands, like tar, to make their grip on the ball easier to grab. So that's a big one. Gamesmanship is just a person who doesn't care, and you don't want to be like that. It's just a game, right? Like, you want to win, but you don't want to win that way. Let's talk about legal behaviors that are perfectly good. So let's talk about honesty, like good sportsmanship, integrity, fairness, and being respectful towards everyone. Now, this goes for student athletes, and coaches as well, and like everybody, really, who is involved. You want to treat other people like you want to be treated, right? Like, nobody wants to be disrespected or felt like cheated on, not treated with fairness. You always want to act highly of the school that you're representing and yourself and your team. You want to be there for everyone, So to finish up, let's talk about like the game. So no matter what, while you're playing in athletics, you want to make sure that you do everything you're supposed to do the right way. It is not worth the cheating and the lying. You don't want to be that person that gets caught and, and you get reprimanded and you get punished. You don't want that. And it's not worth it. Even if you win that way with the cheating and all of that, I mean, did you really win? It's just not worth it. You need to be the change that you want to see. We need to help get rid of all of these like bad things like cheating. I know that everyone is not going to feel the same way, but you want to be the change. You want to be the positive influence. So that's all I have for this lesson. We will pick this back up when we come to class tomorrow. So be sure to bring your notes. I will check for those, and we're going to have that quiz tomorrow. So it's going to be a short quiz. It's nothing to worry about, and we'll get it in and out. So have a good one.